Your child is in the next room. They can hear everything, and they are thinking things you do not know about. They are not playing anymore. They stopped the moment your voices changed. Children under 7 cannot understand adult conflict, but their nervous system registers every word, every door slam, every silence after. The first thing a child thinks when parents fight is not, they are angry at each other. It is, did I cause this? Magical thinking is fully active in young children. They genuinely believe their bad thought, their bad behavior, their bad day triggered what is happening in the next room. The guilt is real, the logic is wrong, but to the child's brain it makes complete sense. I was bad today, now they're fighting, I did this. The second thought is, will they stop loving each other? And the third thought, the one they cannot say out loud, is, will they stop loving me? A child's entire world is their parents. When that world shakes, everything shakes. There is no ground beneath the ground. Their body responds before their brain does. Cortisol rises, heart rate increases, muscles tense. The fight-or-flight system does not know this is not its emergency, but they cannot fight and they cannot flee, so they freeze, or they disappear into themselves, or they make themselves very small and very quiet. Some children try to fix it. They walk in with a drawing, a joke, a hug. They are trying to turn off an alarm they do not understand with the only tools they have. That child is not being cute. They are dysregulated and trying to regulate the room. A child should never have to regulate their parents. Some children go silent and compliant. They stop asking for things. They stop making noise. They become invisible because invisible feels safer than present. Some children act out after the fight, not during. The behavior at dinner, at bedtime, at school the next day, that is the fight, just delayed, just displaced. Chronic exposure to parental conflict is one of the most well-documented stressors in child development. Not occasional arguments, not disagreements, but unresolved, repeated escalating conflict in front of them. The research is specific. It is not the conflict itself that damages children. It is conflict that is unresolved, conflict they witness with no repair, conflict that ends in silence and distance. When children see parents fight and then repair, they learn something powerful. People who love each other disagree, and then they come back. That is what love looks like. The repair is the most important part, not because the fight did not happen, but because the repair teaches rupture is survivable, connection is recoverable. Most parents repair with each other and never tell the child. The child saw the fight. They did not see the repair. To them, it is still broken. Tell your child when you have repaired. We were upset earlier. We talked about it. We are okay now. 3 sentences, it changes everything. Children develop threat detection systems calibrated to their home environment. A child who grows up in a high-conflict home learns to read tension before adults notice it themselves. They notice the tone before the words, the slightly clipped response, the pause before the answer, the way the kitchen goes quiet. The alarm is already firing before the first raised voice. This hypervigilance is adaptive in childhood. In adulthood, it becomes exhausting. The adult who cannot relax in a quiet room, who is always waiting for the other shoe, learned that in a childhood home. Children who grow up with high parental conflict are more likely to develop anxiety, not because of genetics, because their nervous system was trained on an unpredictable environment where tension could arrive at any moment. They also develop loyalty conflicts that nobody talks about. They love both parents. When parents fight, loving both feels like betraying one. That conflict has no resolution for a child. Never ask a child to take sides, even subtly. Tell your father, you saw what she did, you know who's right. The child hears choose, and choosing destroys them. Never use a child as a messenger in conflict, not because it is inconvenient, because every message they carry costs them something, a piece of their safety, their neutrality, their childhood. The child who witnesses repeated parental conflict does not think, my parents have problems. They think, the world is not safe. I am not safe. This is what home feels like. Home is supposed to be the safe base. When home is the source of the alarm, there is nowhere to regulate, nowhere to decompress. The nervous system never comes down. Not all conflict is equal. Arguments about schedules, dishes, money, these are different from contempt, screaming, stonewalling. The child's nervous system knows the difference even when their vocabulary does not. Contempt is the most damaging thing a child can witness between parents. Not anger, contempt, the eye roll, the dismissal, the you always and you never. Contempt says, you do not deserve my respect. The child absorbs that as a model for every future relationship. Children learn conflict from watching their parents. The child who grows up watching stonewalling learns, when I'm upset, I go silent and disappear. The child who watches explosive anger learns, when I'm upset, I explode. The most powerful conflict education you will ever give your child is free. It is letting them see you disagree and then watching you work it out with respect. If you fight in front of them, repair in front of them too, not just with each other, with them. We were upset and we scared you. We are sorry. We are okay. After a fight, check on your child, not to explain adult issues, not to apologize for the marriage, just to say, I see you, you are safe, this is not your fault. Those 4 words, this is not your fault, are among the most important sentences a child can hear. Say them even when you think they know. They do not know. Say them anyway. Children do not need perfect parents. They need parents who fight with some awareness of what is happening in the next room and who come back to repair it. The goal is not to never fight. The goal is to fight in a way that teaches your child something true about conflict, repair, and love. Some conflict protects children. When children see parents navigate genuine disagreement with respect and reach resolution, they gain a template for every relationship they will ever have. The child sitting in the next room right now is not just surviving the argument, they are building a model of what love looks like under pressure. Make sure the model is one you would choose for them. After a difficult period at home, children often regress. Bedwetting, thumb-sucking, clinginess, baby talk, the nervous system under chronic stress returns to earlier, safer developmental stages. Regression is not weakness, it is the body's request for safety. Meet it with comfort, not frustration. The regression will pass when the safety returns. Children do not always show distress during the conflict. They show it 2 days later, in a different room, about something completely unrelated. The meltdown about the wrong-colored cup is about last Tuesday's fight. If your child is struggling and you cannot identify why, look at the last 2 weeks of your home environment. The behavior is information. Read it. You do not have to have a perfect marriage to raise a securely attached child. You have to have enough awareness to protect the child from the weight of the marriage. Protecting the child does not mean hiding reality. It means keeping adult problems as adult problems, fighting in private when possible, repairing visibly when public conflict has already happened. Your child is already building a story about love. They are writing it right now from everything they witness in your home. Be intentional about what they are reading. The child who grows up knowing conflict is survivable and love is resilient carries that with them forever. It becomes the foundation of every relationship they choose as an adult. Did you grow up in a high-conflict home? Do you recognize any of this in yourself? Tell me in the comments. You are not alone, and it is never too late to rewrite the story. Stay for the next video, because what happens in the child's brain during chronic household stress is one of the most important things any parent can understand, and what you can see, you can change.